Hey everyone, Danny Crisafulli here again. Hey, wanted to touch base again today on two things that we're getting a lot of questions on again, and that surrounds the stimulus package that was just released and how that is affecting homeowners, specifically uh, the forbearance period that is allowed by the government or has been put into place by the government. So how that's going to affect homeowners and how that's going to affect landlords, and then how we're handling that specifically. So I'm going to show you, I called my mortgage company to start going through the process to see what it looked like if I was going to apply for forbearance. And I think there's some good information that you should know that is currently getting reported incorrectly. Even this morning on NPR, I heard it reported incorrectly. So I want to cover that really quickly with you. So the what's getting reported out there is that you can apply for forbearance for your mortgage for up to 90 days, and that those payments are going to get tacked on to the end of your mortgage. So if you have a 30-year mortgage, those your amortization is now extended out an additional 3 months on the back end. However, I'm going to show you really quickly. Let me share what my mortgage company is showing. So while I'm pulling this up, the way that the government has set this up is that any loans that are owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which is about just under 50% of loans out there, you can apply for this forbearance. If you don't know if your loan is owned by Fannie or Freddie, you can do a quick Google search. It's important to note that who services your loan could be different than who owns your loan. So for instance, this one that I'm pulling up right now, it is our primary residence. It's serviced by Caliber Home Loans. However, it's owned by Fannie Mae. So these are the details that Caliber is putting out there. And one thing I want to draw your attention to is at the end of the forbearance plan, the payments suspended will become due. So that means at the end of 90 days, you are going to have to pay that lump sum unless you are unable to repay, and then your payments are suspended. You have other options. You can renegotiate a payment plan. You can do a loan modification. However, this, for some people, this can be a great option. If you are just trying to survive right now, could be a great option for you. If you have the ability to make your payment, my advice is to make your payment. And the reason is you're going to end up renegotiating the terms of your loan. So they say very specifically, when I called in their automated service, that could mean a higher interest rate or a lower interest rate. It could mean an increased payment or a decreased payment. So I just want to make sure that people are not applying for forbearance that don't necessarily need it, especially if you're in a really good interest rate right now. Okay, so that's item one. Item two is, how are we handling our tenant situations right now? Obviously, if our tenants are not able to pay, then we as the landlords are still going to have to pay that mortgage. So again, if you are out of options, applying for forbearance could be a good option for you. Just know that there's more details to be worked out with your mortgage company. It's not as simple as it's being reported. The way that we are handling it is very case by case. So for instance, we have had one tenant that both he and his wife are massage therapists. They have zero income while all of this is going on. So we're working it out with them. You know, our goal is to treat them fairly. We have no desire to remove anybody from their house if they're not paying in these times. So so what we're doing is working with each individual tenant based on their individual needs. So I'll use this tenant as an example. What we're doing with them is they're able to make their payments. They just need them split up multiple times throughout the month. So we're fine with that. We've got another tenant that looks like they're not going to be able to pay, and they're not able to make the full payment. So what we're doing is we are going to collect partial payment each month, and then they can either catch up in a lump sum down the road, or we can spread that additional amount over the life of the lease. So if they have 10 months left on their lease, and I'm gonna use round numbers, they have 10 months left on their lease and they are unable to pay $1,000, then we'll add $100 a month to the rest of their lease payments. And then we'll continue to communicate with them. And if June rolls around, they're still not able to make their payments, we'll look at it all again. Again, our goal is to treat everybody fairly, ourselves and our tenants. So I want to encourage you as an investor, as a real estate investor, to not just think about the bottom line here. Think about the people's lives that are being affected by this, and do the right thing. Any questions, you can always feel free to reach out and touch base with me or our team directly. Thank you.